that persons have imposed on the text. The word found in Greek is heurisko, eureka, I find it. You never see the word heurisko, goulamai, will, find God's will, but you do read poeto, do God's will. If you want to know God's will, there are two things you must do. Learn God's word, obey God's word. And when you learn God's word and obey God's word, God will make his individual will known for your life to you. Problem is, Christians spend too much time trying to find God's will and God ain't hiding it. I don't know God's will for my life. Well, learn his word, obey his word, and God will show you his will for your life. Now, the burnt offering.
37?
43. The burnt offering. This is the offering that was totally burned up, except for the skin, which was payment for the priest. The skin belonged to the priest. Because God always wanted his ministers to be taken care of. And the burnt offering is where the man put the live animal on the put the animal on the offering on the table and set it afire. And the animal was the worshiper's substitute. Now keep in mind, there are three things about sacrifices you need to keep in mind. So I'm going to give them to you. I want you to write them down. And they're highly important. There are other things I'm not going to give you, but there's several other things. But I think these are the three most important things about the offerings that'll help you when you're reading the Bible. Number one, sacrifices are offered by believers only. These sacrifices are not done for a person to get saved. These sacrifices are done by saved folk. Number two, sacrifices were an outward demonstration. Sacrifices were an outward demonstration of an inward faith. Of an inward faith. It demonstrated that you trust God and you believe God. And number three, fellowship with God was the main objective. Fellowship with God was the main objective. When I've sinned, I've broken fellowship with God. Now, how do I get it back? If you keep these three main things in mind, you won't get confused when you're reading the Old Testament about why they sacrificed. Fellowship with God was the main objective. They sacrificed because something between God and the worshiper has gone wrong. Now we know God is not the problem. So we got to be us. Now, the burnt offering was based on your economic ability. If you were wealthy, you bought a male animal from the herd, a bull or something like that. Male, very, very expensive. Why? Because God is showing that sin is expensive. It costs. Something has to die. If you're middle class, you can bring a lamb or a goat, something like that. If you were poor, you can bring a pigeon or a turtle dove. That's what Mary and Joseph offered. That's how we knew they were poor. Okay. Now, a wealthy person could not bring a pigeon or a turtle dove. God will reject it outright. Okay. A middle class person could not bring a turtle, a pigeon, or a turtle dove. God will reject it outright. Because it's got to be commensurate or equal with your financial status. The burnt offering was an offering of dedication or consecration to God.
Yes. Why would they, when you read this right here, you got, they go from bullock to the poor, and they're not mentioning the milk, fat, you know. From the bullock to the dove, pigeon, and not mentioning the lamb.
I thought they mentioned the lamb. It said from the flock, verse 10. See the flock there? Verse 10. Sheep, lamb.
Okay.
I'm not going reading all this.
Okay.
Yeah. It's important you know what these sacrifices meant. So you appreciate what God has done. And the offer of laying on hands, laying his hands, verse 4, on the head of the burnt offering, that it may be accepted for him. And what God does, he sniffs the olah. Olah, we get the word Holocaust from that word. Olah means to ascend. And what happens is the animal is taking the place of the person that's bringing the animal. Okay? And if the animal that's being burned, meat, smells good, then there's a sweet aroma. Under God, it's accepted. But if it stinks, it's rejected. Because the offer that's bringing it stinks to God. Yes, ma'am.
I think you covered it before, but I can't remember. Even though they say to atone for the sin of the individual, it means family, because they only brought one per family. Like if they brought a bullock or a pigeon, they didn't bring one for each individual in that family.
I don't think he did. Yeah, that'd be loud. Yeah. Remember something, the father, you know, the family pretty much followed the father. What the father did. See, the offering the animal is a demonstration. It's outward demonstration that they've already got right with God. If they got right with God, they would never do that. They would never take the time or give this expensive animal. Listen, yeah, that bull's gonna bring me some more cows. They ain't studying that. so, the fact that they were willing to do that. See, when a person says, you know, if I give an invitation and say, okay, does anybody want to trust Christ as a personal Savior? I say, okay, just come down. Before they left their seat, they already saved. They believed it. That's why they got up. The getting up was a demonstration of faith. Just somebody there.
This is done once a year,
No. That's still total.
so every time you
These were
sing,
daily sacrifices.
daily sacrifice. Each and every day we sing, we gotta give a bull based on our,
No, just people just, you talking about, what, 4 to 6 million people?
so this,
That's a lot of days.
so one bull for the whole.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it now. Cause I can really say, you know, ain't gonna be very many bulls around here.
Well, and God wanted the tabernacle to be a mess, a bloody mess.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, because sin is messy. Huh? Yeah, out there where they slain the mountain. It was a mess.
An area in
Yeah, the tabernacle was a mess. Where the burnt offering was.
What made a clean animal stink? If it wasn't no blemish, it had been checked out. What made it stink when it should have been a smelling or a sweet aroma to God?
I can bring a clean, unblemished animal to God, trying to fool God when my life ain't right. The animal represents me.
So we are just like sheep.
Yeah, the meat stink because the offer stinks.
Right.
Something wrong with the offering.
They want to crank us
I got you.
It's the offering. Offerer that God is smelling. You're not smelling what you brought. He's smelling you.
So in essence, they couldn't fool God.
No, they couldn't fool the Lord. And we still can't fool him, because God smells us on Sunday too.
That's right. We stink in the church.
And was there ever a time when the woman brought the sacrifice?
No, the man
versus
brought it.
Because the man
Head
was
of household.
always the head of the household.
Yes, I heard about it.
Well, what about now? I mean, even though we don't have to give,
Now, everybody comes to Christ individually.
right,
Remember something now, remember something. They're not offering these animals to get saved. These people already have trust in God. They're offering these animals for dedication and getting back that fellowship that they might have been broken with the Lord. That's what they're doing. See, that's why those 3 points I gave you will help in the long run clear up all of this stuff. Because if you're looking at the offerings as sinners bringing offerings to God, then it's going to confuse you. Sinners wouldn't do this.
and also, was this only the Jewish people doing this?
Yes. Yeah, even though there were some people in the camp that came out of Egypt with them, some Egyptians. Yeah. And some of them had embraced the Jewish God. But you got to also understand something. When you got 6 million people coming out of bondage, that doesn't mean everybody that came out of Egypt was saved. You take a bunch of Christians, take a bunch of folk to Six Flags. I mean, everybody on the bus, saved. But they're still going to Six Flags. They're on the bus. Right? See, salvation is an individual thing. Okay. My kids are not automatically saved because I'm saved. It's an individual thing. God has no grandchildren. I don't have children. You don't have no nieces and nephews either.
Keisha, so now, today, our offering, if we got a dirty, rotten attitude on Sunday night, just because we came and bring our tithe, it's still a problem.
Yeah, God rejects it. The church still uses it, but God rejects it.
Lord Jesus.
Sure, the power don't care about your attitude. Bring me my money. So that's why it's important that I have the proper attitude of worship. And you have to do that before you get up on Sunday morning. Because remember something now, in the Jewish culture, they had to prepare for worship. They had to prepare this animal, get this animal ready, examine this animal, make sure they bred this animal, they fed this animal. Took time. Now they bring it to God. What we do is we don't prepare for worship. We prepare for worship when we get to the vestry. That's the wrong time to do it. You don't start at least Friday or Saturday. Prepare your heart. Give it right with God. Then you have the best worship time. I don't give them preaching.
I think that's why it's important, you know, in our personal devotion times, even before you come to Sunday, when you get your heart prepared, you got to confess your sins to cleanse it, because you can't just come to God any kind of way you want to.
Right.
And I think often some churches are given the notion that you come to God as you are. Yeah, that's true. But as us as Christians, He speaks to us as Christians, we have that relationship with Him. In order to maintain that fellowship, we just can't come to Him any kind of way. You know, that's why, morning, early in the morning, I call it airing my dirty laundry. If I think about somebody wrong, somebody cuts me off in traffic, if somebody spits on me, or there's something, that's inappropriate, my attitude that, God, because God knows our hearts. Jeremiah 17:9 says our hearts are exceedingly wicked. But we have to be cleansed before Him, because we can't go to Him any kind of way. And even though we are His children, we have to be cleansed before, or even make requests of Him. Anything, He's not going to,
If the president, and I don't care whether Republican or Democrat, invite you to the White House, you're going to prepare to go.
Right.
Ain't you?
Yep.
You don't go to the White House, have a pants down below you behind, you don't have all that now. So I was told the story about Al Sharpton. Y'all know Al Sharpton, right? He and James Brown's son were best friends in New York. James lived in New York. His son Teddy that was killed, eventually killed in an accident. And James Brown took Al Sharpton pretty much under his wing as a son. And the story was told that James Brown was doing a concert in Washington, D.C. He called the White House and Richard Nixon was president. He said he wanted to meet Richard Nixon. They told Nixon who he was, but they don't listen to our music. Richard Nixon invited James Brown to the White House. We had Al Sharpton with him. He told Al Sharpton, you can't go to the White House with your head looking like that. That's why he fried it like that. That's why he wear that way today. And when James went to the White House, so James told Richard Nixon, I don't want nobody to give me that. Just open the door and get it myself. And that's where he made that song. So in other words, James saying to Al, you got to prepare. You're going to meet the president. Well, you're going to meet God.
Amen.
Why don't we prepare to meet God? Yes.
I think it's not enough emphasis is placed on that coming from the pulpit today.
Yes.
I say we because I'm a member of the congregation. I can see where a lot of times the impression or the understanding that we are given, they say come as you are, and they cut it off there. And when people continue to come the same way every Sunday, there is no more enlightenment as to we should be getting better. You're sitting under the word Sunday after Sunday, and no change. Every now and then they'll talk about that, but they never cease to say, bring your offering. But they don't say that there are some offerings that God will not receive, you know. But the Bible tells us that there's, if you coming wrong, you know, God don't receive it. Now the words say that, but if nobody reads it, if I don't read it, I wouldn't know that. And if it's not coming from the pulpit, they're not gonna know it. So every Sunday that a person may come, right, and they give an offering, they think that when they leave out, they ready for the week. You know I messed up last week, but I done came, I sat, I gave my money, and now I'm good to go. I'm starting like a fresh page.
Sometimes it just helps to tell them that you take up the offering.
but you know, I'm just saying a lot of, you know, the understanding is not coming for.
Yeah, because, you know, if you're giving to God with the wrong attitude, God rejects it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. Recognize who he is and what he's done. We can't bribe God.
Right.
God doesn't need anything from us. Therefore, he does what he wants to do. And so we have to fall in line with him. He don't fall in line with us. Turn to Hebrews chapter 10 for a moment. Yes, sister.
It's not just our money, it's also our service to him.
Yes,
It's for
yes.
our ushering, whatever we do.
Right. Let me do this before I get into this passage. I hear this all the time. I hear preachers do it all the time. That the church is a hospital. If you're using that, stop it. Because everybody in your church is sick, you need to go somewhere else. You do. If a Lincoln Baptist church is a hospital, they need to go somewhere else. The hospital is for sick people. Isn't it? Amen. So you tell me the church is a hospital, that means anybody in your church well? Something wrong with that picture. What you been preaching, man? Somebody ought to be well. Why go to a hospital when the doctor's sick? See, we have all these cute phrases that we adopt. I hear pastors talk about it all the time. There's no church in nothing but a hospital. That's what really. If that's the case, well, you pastor a sorry church.
You mean they send sick?
Huh?
I guess he means that the people are sin sick.
All of them? You ain't nobody in that church well?
I always thought that meant that you could come to church to find out how to be healed from whatever it is that's going on with you. I mean, that's when I hear that phrase. Then I'm thinking that, you know, we got an answer. Just like when you go to the hospital, you won't heal. You ain't going there just to visit. You go in there for them to identify what's wrong with you and give you something to fix it.
But if everybody coming to the hospital, they need fixing.
You say, are they coming or is that why they're coming?
Yeah, I'm saying if everybody's coming to the church to get fixed.
But now when we go to the hospital, everybody coming to get fixed, but the people who there
But I ain't going
are
to the
supposedly
hospital.
already fixed and they can fix you.
I guess. I know what you're saying. I'm telling you, that's a bad phrase to use. Because it implies there ain't nobody in the church well. If the church is a hospital, you bringing all the sick people to the church. After why the well people gonna get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just telling you how some stuff we hear and they use. I heard a lot of more stuff. I ain't getting all that, but you know, biblically inaccurate.
Dr. Reed, I I hear what you're saying, but if the pastor who's pastoring is not putting out the information to help the sick person, then that person gonna be sick until they get the right information.
True.
So the people who are in there can't be well.
All right.
I mean,
Hebrews 10, yeah, I get you. But all I'm saying to you is this. Be careful of adopting phrases that don't make any sense.
book this chapter.
10. Because if everybody's coming to the hospital, if everybody's going to the hospital and nobody will, how can you care for the sick? The word of God will cure people's problems. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if you go to the hospital and the medicine they give you don't cure you, then something's wrong with the medication. Right?
Right.
You go to the church and the word of God don't cure you. Either you're not receiving the right medication, or you rejected the medication that's been given to you, or you're just not getting it. One of those things. That's all I'm saying. Hebrews 10. Verse 24. Let us consider how to stimulate one another to what? To what now? Love and good deeds. How to stimulate means start a fire. Now you have to prepare to do that. Because it says not to forsake to assemble yourselves together, verse 25.
Right.
He's saying, you know, before you come to God's house, assume that the house is cold. Well, who's going to turn the heat on? Well, everybody's going to stay in the house cold. So now I must consider, I'm thinking, I'm turning over in my mind how I can make worship better for my brother and my sister. For me in the process. That's called preparing for worship. You can't do that when you come to the message. You gotta think about that before you leave home. How you can do that. Because people come to church discouraged. There are hurting people that come to every service. They're in every service. Now the meal offering in chapter 2. As you toss around what I said, you're still holding this phrase that ain't got no power. This is a grain offering or the meal offering. And they can use flour or grain. This offering was an offering of Leviticus 2. This is an offering that gave recognition to God for his bountiful blessings, provisions, blessings. It's an offering of thanksgiving, gratitude, dedication for God meeting your physical needs. If God didn't provide, they didn't eat. If God doesn't provide today, we don't eat.
Amen.
Right? If God took your sunshine and his rain, we won't eat.
Amen.
I don't care where you live. The fact that in America you can go to different restaurants and buy what you want to eat is a recognition of God's bountiful blessings and provisions for your life. Some parts of Africa, they don't think about what they're going to eat today. They think about, am I going to eat today? You go to Old Times, you go to Golden Corral, you think about what you're going to put on your plate. They don't have those provisions. you see. And God wanted them to be thankful for meeting their basic needs. And sometimes we don't thank God enough for what He puts on our plate. Yes.
I was speaking to a Vietnamese in the congregation last Friday. And one of the young men, about 29 years old, he did the prayer and they had a meeting. And I heard him pray and it touched me because he was like, God, thank you for allowing us to live here in America. Thank you for allowing us to, have food in front of us and not having to complain about what we're going to eat. And I thought about my daughter at home. I said, sometimes we pray, and as soon as we get through praying, we get eating, and I'm like, Mom, you ain't put enough salt on this. You ain't got, this. I'm like, oh, we just prayed, and now you're not being thankful. But when I heard that Vietnamese guy pray, and I said, see, we here in America, we got too much to live for and not enough to die for. If we go over there and see, like you said, in Africa over there, they saying not what we're gonna eat, but all we're gonna eat. And it's like we don't give God thanks enough for what we really have. We take it for granted.
That's right. I was, I guess it's about 32, 33 years ago when I was seminary. Some of the ladies that worked in the seminary, the seminary downstairs in the break room, they had to go down and supply certain things, make sure that somebody worked for the janitorial service in seminary, make sure that they had what they needed in the bathrooms and napkins and all that kind of stuff out there in the break room. And one white girl came to me who knew me, she said, Don, she says, I heard something this morning that really made me look at my life in a different manner. I said, what did you hear? She said, well, several of us ladies were surrounding the table talking about where our husbands took us on anniversaries. And we were talking about, my husband taking me to Papa Do's, and another one and taking them to some 5-star restaurant, and another one. And then there was an African lady there. And when she said, came around, she said, I really thank my God, I thank the Lord that my husband took me to Kentucky Fried Chicken for me. She said, how selfish we were. We're giving God thanks for the 5-star. And this woman giving God thanks for a box of chicken for our anniversary. Sometimes we can be so ungrateful.
Yeah.
There was an African group of young people. They sing around the country. And they came to my uncle's church before we passed out on Warner Robins. And he told me later, he said, Don, I heard something last night. He said, them kids were off the chain, they were nice. I mean, they sang well. He said, but what really blew my mind was, he said, after the concert was over, I asked them, what do y'all want to eat? Just name where you want to go, we're going to take you. And all of them said, we want some Church's chicken. I mean, they could have asked to go on to another restaurant, but we heard about Church's chicken. And that's what they wanted to eat. That'd have been me. No, cheddar. Son. We don't think about how blessed we are as a nation to have what we have. February, I'm getting ready to go over to the Isle of St. Kitts, and I think those people can't eat what we eat. Get kind of money do. We can buy stuff and eat. Our grocery stores are full all the time. And whenever they run out of stuff, you see the boxes in the house, they reload, they restock it. We take it for granted. We take it for granted that we can fill our car with gas.
That's right.
Actually, we was over there on the 5th of December. Seeing kids setting things up. Asked the lady in Texas, how much gas a gallon? $10 a gallon. $10 a gallon. Which is about 7 or something American money. That high. St. Kitts. 200 miles east of Puerto Rico. Little island, beautiful island. But we take these things for granted. Because we can go, when this service station out of gas, we go to another one. This store don't have what we have, we go to another one, right? We're going to get what we want. Right? How many of us really thank God for what He has provided for this nation, that we are able to go and get what we want to eat? A lot of people don't have those choices. 95% of the world today, tonight, will go to bed hungry. Yes. And we'll go to bed. I ought to go hungry, but we'll go to bed full. We get hungry at night, we'll get us a peanut butter cracker or something, some bologna. That's what got me at night.
About 2 more years ago. I couldn't want to leave till you're 62.
Be thankful. Be thankful. You know, I think Americans are spoiled. We're like spoiled children.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm one of them. I admit that. I don't like to stay in the line, the grocery store line too long. Hey, let's go somewhere else. Right? We don't want to wait. Right? We don't want to wait, right? We wait a minute, but after that, hey, come a minute. What happened to my food? Did you get my order? You know, but people in those third world countries who don't have a lot, they have to wait. Yeah. Then we have the peace offering. Peace offering is a fellowship with God, because everything between God and man is okay. The believing man is okay. That's the peace offering. You got the peace of God, you got peace with God, you got peace from God. And if you got peace in the deep inner recesses of your soul, you ought to thank God for that.
Those three again.
Huh?
The peace of God.
Peace of God, peace from God, peace with God. Now, peace simply means that the soul is at rest. And the kind of peace that God gives you is a kind of peace that'll keep you at rest when everything around you is turned upside down.
Amen.
That's why Jesus said, my peace I give you.
Yes.
Not as the world
Not
gives
as the world.
give I unto you. Because whatever the world gives you, the world can take it away.
That's right.
So how do you get that peace? Isaiah told us. Thou will keep him in perfect peace,
Amen.
whose mind is stayed on thee. That's how you get it. That's how you keep it. Keep your thoughts on God. That's why Solomon would say, rise above the sun. But under the sun, ain't nothing but hardship and pain. And toil and labor and difficulty. But God will give you the peace that you need. So the peace offering was saying that everything between God and man was okay. And then you had the sin offering. Okay. This is restoration of fellowship with God. Unintentional and inadvertent sins. 1 John 1:9 what we say. That if we walk with God, our feet get dirty sometimes. We don't need a bath, we just need to be clean our feet. The Old Testament, they gave a sacrifice for that. Okay? So the sin offering is designed to restore that fellowship with God that was broken, which cleanses a person from defilement. And then you have the trespass offering. This is the offering you gave restitution. To you restore something that's been neglected, forgotten, cheated another person. That was offering. Now, here's the thing about this offering that's hardly ever done. You take a person's reputation. God requires you to give it back to him. If you're a lie on a person, no person made a lie. Don't just go, sister, I lied about it, forgive me. Go and straighten out with the people you told. That's called restoring. That's the part that's often neglected. You'll go to the person, or ask that person who you offended and hurt, and cheated, stolen from. And that person, yeah, I forgive your sister, I forgive you, brother. But your girlfriends are still messed up. Your husband's still messed up. So not only must I ask that person for forgiveness, I need to go and say, listen, honey, let me talk to you. There's some things I said about our preacher were true. But our church wasn't true. But our sister wasn't true. But our brother wasn't true. And I'm here to straighten this thing out. Because I can no longer continue to live and worship God with peace until I straighten this thing out. That's a part of it that people don't do. If you steal a person's reputation and you know what you said about them is not right, it's incumbent upon you while you are living and while they're living as best you can to get that thing right. Amen. If you know where they are. Trespass off.
Pastor,
Yeah.
if a person asks forgiveness for that, but yet they do not go to that person to try to, as you say, resolve that or make things right with that person, how does God see that?
They're not forgiven.
They're not forgiven.
No.
They must go to that
They
person.
must straighten that thing out. It's called restitution. You have to repay that person what you stole from them.
So, it says in, if you know your brother have offered you, leave your gift at the altar.
Yeah, first
Go
door.
get that.
Yeah, that's right, that first drink on worship.
Now, would you say, and I looked at, just, yeah, if I'm wrong, I looked at, many times it said, if you know your brother has offered you, leave your gift at the altar, go get that, then come back.
Right.
I look at that sometimes as our gift is, God give you the gift of teaching, God give you the gift of singing, God give you the gift of, singing, preaching, whatever it may be. But I feel that most of our church people are not being healed because some people, we are trying to preach, sing, teach out of our gift, but we never left it at the altar to go get that thing right with the other person. And now, therefore, now our gift is not being received because you never went back and get that thing right with your brother and your sister.
Yeah. And this is particularly true with pastors. Why does a pastor go back and get his reputation? When folks done damaged it, people already went in. So we can't fight the same way other people fight. We can't do it. Our livelihoods depend on our reputation. There's a church in school, this black guy that lied on his dad. Some leadership lied on his dad. And the church fired him. And he was telling me about it. And he said, we struggled for 6 years financially after the church did that to us. And they finally sent a letter asking for forgiveness. What they had done to their dad. He said, why does my dad get a reputation back now? How does he get it back? See, we have to always think about what we say, what we believe will affect somebody else. That's what the Bible says about a pastor. You cannot say anything against a pastor believe anything about a pastor, except on the basis of 2 or 3 credible eyewitnesses. Because God made it stringent like that, because his livelihood depended on it. If a pastor has a good reputation, generally speaking, he won't get hired. Right? What if he's 65, 70 years old? You can't, hey, you're through. But sometimes people don't think about that. You don't think about how what I say and believe about an individual is going to affect people. Even some things are true, it ought not to be published. David told about when Saul died, tell it not in Gad.
That's right.
Tell it not in Philistia. Oh, don't talk about Saul among the pagans. You find something on the preacher, he's eager to tell you. Or a deacon. Or some lady in the church. You see. And God said, don't be eager to publish that kind of thing. Don't get so excited. Child, have you heard? Have you heard the ladies about Reverend so-and-so? I ain't heard that, child. What have? Girl, you ain't gonna believe it. Yes, ma'am.
By the same token, I think we talked about this a few times. May not have been last week, maybe before that. But when you have people in positions who you know that based on their character or whatever, they shouldn't be in those positions, but they not willing to take them out of those positions, even though they really shouldn't be in those positions. Because it's not something that's on the cover, it's known, and they don't try to hide it. These positions in the church, I mean, I know we have crooks in politics and all these different businesses and you know, because the nature of our society. But also, me for one, when I come to church, and I understand that these are people just like me, and all of us have our faults. But I look to my leadership in the church. I want to believe that they are living to highest standard, you know, because they know the word, and they ain't gonna be perfect, but they are trying to live according to what God has said.
Yeah, we as pastors have to use wisdom a lot of times, because sometimes folk in the church they turn on the preacher. They know a person doing it right, and they tear the church up because of it. But then also a pastor has to make up his mind. He has to be bold, take a stand on some issues, and take a risk. You know, if a deacon is sleeping around with the flock, everybody know it. You take it down. Take his ordination papers from him.
And what about when you have a person in a position and they're not, like if they are the finance person, or they are the person over pastoral care, which is the
They're
congregation.
still in the finance.
But they not treating everybody the same. You know, like I'm a nobody, but Mr. So-and-so, cause he work on the base, you know, we gonna make sure he get taken care of. Or Miss So-and-so, cause she own a business, you know, we gotta make sure they're pleased when they come. But, and then even to the point of people losing family members, or they have problems, and if you are peon, you know, then you're not important. But this person, they get everything taken care of, and the pastor knows this. But don't he have a responsibility to equally, you know, take care of his people, not based on economic, what you were talking about today?
That's true. And everybody in leadership ain't saved.
Amen.
So don't it fall on the pastor to fix this?
It does, but you're gonna need the help of other leadership also as well. That's why the deacons and the pastor, at least in the church, must be on one accord. Come together, talk about how we're gonna handle this and then handle it. You follow what I'm saying? And, but again, you still have to use wisdom. Because that old devil wanna put stuff there so you can.
All right, say
I remember a pastor told us one time that at a workshop, and I'm gonna let you go, that one of his big people, old man in his 70s, we had him on the finance committee. And been on there for years. He told me, he said, "Nigga, so-and-so was hitting me for 5 $100 bills every Sunday on the offering. They count the money." So I suspected, I put a camera back there, and I saw it. From the Chris $100 bill, 5 of them in his pocket when he counted the money. He said, but the church loved it. He said, I had to handle that. Now how I was gonna handle it? When I know the church loved that old man. First thing they gonna do, if I took him down, real man got no business doing that to that old man like that, treat him like that. He said, my church have been like bars and herders of them, or cereal today. Reverend, what you do? So I took him off the bills and put him on the change. He could give me for $50 a week in quarters, but I was saving some money. But that was wisdom.
That's right. That's right.
Until they could get him off of there. Because I'm gonna tell you something, you know, old man like that, people gonna say, "Real, got that bit of picking on Deacon so." That's how people think. So we have to use wisdom sometimes.
That's right.
And don't let the devil back you in the corner where you can't get out of it. Yeah. So I think it'll be a leadership issue, and it's easily corrected if the leaders got together and talk about it. And whatever. Yeah. Thank you. hope you learned something today. We'll see you next Thursday.
The sister